you know what? I hate the devil.
The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we back doing this, and that's giving you another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. One love to you and you and you and you for doing this, stopping by here, absorbing this West Coast bias. Speaking of which, we get that West Coast bias courtesy of the Don't Doze Art Lab. Yes, the Don't Doze Art Lab. Oh, man, this is just the place that, teaches you how to take care of your neighbors in the most expensive place in the world. Find out more at don'tdoze.com. Okay, anyways, my name's Kyle Bowen again, and, man, I got to admit, my mind's all over the place because the Canucks, they made their final decisions. They made some cuts, boom, bam. And, no Valentino Martini III on the opening night roster. Apparently, allegedly, yes, they sent him down. They pretty much made their final cuts. That being said, hold off just a little bit. There's still 4 days. Yes, 4 days till game time, till this thing, really kicks off. You never know what's going to happen. But for now, it seems as if the Vancouver Canucks are not drinking the martini as much as we are here on Locked On Canucks, okay? Because, again, they sent him down along with Tom Willander and Max Sasson. I think they did Sasson yesterday and Willander and Mancini today, which means, man, oh, man, the Canucks have their 23-man roster for, again, the season opener. And, man, oh, man, the obvious, right? Braeden Cootes makes the team. 18-year-olds. 18-year-olds, my bad. Why can't I speak English right now? I got to take a sip of this beer. There you go. 18 years old. This guy makes the team. Boom, bam. Not a big deal. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And to be honest, I think we've gotten so used to this alleged narrative around Braeden Cootes for like 10 to 12 days that this doesn't even feel special. Even though he's the youngest Canuck to make the team since Peter Nedved way back in 1990. Like, this is cool. But again, I think we all knew where this was going, and it speaks for the center depth in this organization. It maybe speaks for, them having Atu Ratu and Teddy Bluger too. Like, not certain fire bets to be a third-line center. You might as well, possibly give Braden Coots the Ryan O'Reilly treatment that Colorado, laid out in 2009, I believe. When O'Reilly at 18 years old, a second-round pick, played like 80-plus games, and, eventually won the Conn Smythe less than a decade later. Where am I going with this? This is cool. Braden Coots, he can be special. Let's see if he lasts more than 9 games. But if he does, and he looks legit, and he puts up like 30 points this year, man, oh man, the Vancouver Canucks just got the steal of the draft. And in essence, I know this wasn't transactional, but, based on characteristics, based on what we're hearing, replacing Miller with Braden Coots long-term, it's different. It's more Canadian. Take that, USA. And it's more fitting. I feel as if Braden Coots, he lines up more with Quinn Hughes than Miller. So maybe in a couple years, based on, Coots' trajectory and his potential being wider than we ever believed. I mean, damn. I mean, we might have gotten our number 2 center in a different way. But again, we might have already gotten him this summer when that was Operation Number 1. And he may not be that guy this year, but maybe next year, maybe the year after. It's a young man's game. Maybe one season of full NHL action takes this guy, to the next level. Makes him quote-unquote elite sooner. Who knows? But man, oh man, as a Canucks fan, this is cool. This is cool. This is something to look into, to tap into, and go to bed with. I think the Vancouver Canucks have a legitimate top prospect, not only in this organization, but across the league. So shout out to Braeden Cootes for making this. Shout out to Jonathan Lecker-Mackey for making it. Arshdeep Baines and Linus Karlsson make it. Remember, Mancini don't make it, but Linus Karlsson and Arshdeep Baines make it. And that's cool. It is what it is. Maybe they're getting rewarded for winning an AHL championship last year. And you know, I got a note on this. I know Linus Karlsson was quiet in the preseason, didn't even play in the last game. But, you know, there was moments last year in the NHL where he looked like he took the next step. And obviously we saw what he did in the AHL. But again, in the NHL, he looked way more comfortable, looked way more favorable. You never know. And, you know, obviously this team didn't want to lose him to waivers early on. And they kept him. And yeah, Arshdeep Baines becoming somewhat of a polarizing person amongst parts of the fan base. I mean, let's be real. Again, I think Mancini has a lot to do with this, but people aren't that happy with us keeping Baines over Mancini. Arshdeep Baines getting a lot of good looks this preseason, playing a lot with Hedel. I remember this is a guy that's played 20 NHL games, has 1 point, I believe, and has played, you know, I want to say quite a bit, but it's not nothing when it comes to the minutes played with Arshdeep and some top line guys. I mean, this guy played some time with JT Miller in his rookie season. He's gotten some looks. And again, he's gotten some looks this preseason as well. And maybe we haven't seen the offensive punch so much so 5-on-5 with Hedel, specifically speaking. But this Canucks organization loves him. And I've been openly not disrespectful to Arshdeep, but critical. I don't know this dude, but he's a Surrey brother. So just like with all my brothers, we got to hold each other accountable. We got to, keep it real. No yes men. And all off season long, all training camp long, I've been saying, this guy's got to be more instinctual. He's got to give us more, especially if we're, looking for him to play a legitimate role in our top 9. Right? And now he's getting looks with again, Philip Hedel. Like we need more than just a good two-way player or a good defensive player, a good back check. We need more than just intelligence. I'm sorry, this team's, struggling for offense, quote unquote, when it comes to their forward department. We got to keep Quinn Hughes this year. We got to win some games, and everyone's got to play their part. And Arshdeep Baines, can't just compete. I think he needs to be efficient. There needs to be some playmaking being done there, mainly because again, that has to happen, and B, he has it in him. We've seen what he did in the Western Hockey League. We saw what he did as an AHL player. The instincts are there, but for whatever reason, we haven't seen him consistently have quote unquote fun on the ice. As again, Thomas Strand says it, he's a bit of a coach's pet. And I want to see more. I want to see more instinctualness. I want to see more flavor, for real. I think he has it in him, and I've had my doubts. I wonder, can this guy, be instinctual, be spicy, while playing for his childhood team? That's a lot of pressure, especially being from Surrey. Like, not to make a huge deal out of this, but again, this is really, really cool. That I feel like more so than the fan base based on ratio. Because again, a large part of the fan base is kind of getting bored of this guy. But man, oh man, the Canucks organization, like the smart people, right? The people smarter than us, we'd like to believe, right? The coaching staff, they love this guy. And that's cool to know that a guy from Surrey has that much respect from, the team, the Vancouver Canucks, everyone's favorite team from this side of the world. That is cool. Really cool. And then again, it's the whole Surrey thing too. He's a face. We connect to him. Maybe he's feeling some of that heat. Maybe it's blocking him away from being instinctual, but nonetheless, again, the coaching staff trusts him, and I feel as if he needs to trust himself more when it comes to being okay with leaning into his playmaking ability. That all being said, look at what Scott Young said about Arshdeep Baines, okay? His game has matured. He has shown a lot of jam, okay? Coaches love jam. He's doing things along the walls. He's controlling pucks, making smarter plays, and less high-risk plays. So maybe they don't want Arshdeep to be, an AHL all-star, offensive, spicy mother pucker, right? Maybe they just want him to be like another version of Drew O'Connor, which I'm skeptical about because I don't know if we need like Atu Ratu, Drew O'Connor, and Arshdeep Baines all in our bottom 6 or playing parts of our middle six. Because again, look at the Canucks forward group. That seems like a lot of redundance. But nonetheless, this guy has the support of the coaching staff, and they're liking what they're seeing. And I go back to what Trevor said about him a couple days ago. And Trevor, normally way more right than I am. Some would say way more safe than I am, but way more right. And a couple days ago, I was surprised when Trevor called Arshdeep Baines one of the smartest Canucks when it comes to hockey IQ. Again, this is a guy that's also much appreciated by Mr. Fancy Stat, Mr. Corsi, Thomas Drance. Maybe he's a newer version of Little Things Louis, but a lot cheaper. For real. All in all, though, where's my verdict? Again, I've been critical, but right now on this Sunday, I'm proud. I'm not going to lie. I'm proud. Like to see that, again, the coaching staff, the Vancouver Canucks, the team that I cheer, I love, that I idolize, again, as a kid, the first thing that I ever loved in life, I don't know if it was my parents conditionally, right? Or unconditionally. What's the word I'm looking for? Because I'm a young chap. Do I really know what love is? But there were the Vancouver Canucks. That was my thing. That opened up my heart. That opened up my eyes. And boom, bam, fast forward 23 years later, there's a kid from Surrey being loved by that coaching staff. And they don't even have to stand out. Obviously, he's doing a lot right. So Arshdeep Baines makes the team. I think he's going to play for sure on Thursday. I don't think it's going to be Carlson over him. And he has a chance. Again, Arshdeep Baines has a chance to be the most popular guy on the West Coast. I do think he's going to get more looks in the top 9 as well. So please, Arshdeep Baines, make the most of it. You're already making Surrey proud, but if you could actually be a legitimate top 9 player, be more instinctual, just loosen up a bit. Something special could happen here. You could be a 30 to 40 point guy, play a legitimate role on this team, and yeah, we'll see. I'll also say this. I feel like his rope isn't legitimately long to just I wouldn't say float, but just to be like a one-way defensive guy. I think if he just does that, there is going to be some swapping, right, between him and Linus Karlsson and Atu Ratu and who knows what, but there is more so for him than the other guys. I guess Ratu and him are similar, but there is a chance for, again, him to be a legitimate piece. The Canucks kind of want that from him. I feel like he could be like Chris Higgins-esque, or maybe like Louis Eriksson-esque, or maybe Tanner. You know what? Arshdeep Baines, congratulations. This is not the Arshdeep Baines comparison show. Anyways, on the other side, we'll talk about Valentino Martini and why he didn't make the team. I got some theories as well on that. We'll get to your comments. We'll also get to a comment from a past episode that, again, kind of tells the tale on why Mancini didn't make the team. Because if this fan is right, then the Canucks are right too. Anyways, you're listening and watching Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. One love to FanDuel. Trevor's favorite game. I know he's playing a lot of FanDuel today. That's why he's not with us on today's episode. He's got priorities, and he does so responsibly, and that's, again, play FanDuel. He makes parlays, does all that jazz. And once upon a time, he was a new customer, and if you're a new customer to FanDuel, boom, bam, you can place a $5 bet, and if you win that $5 bet, you get $300 in bonus bets. That's pretty cool. Again, if you play FanDuel responsibly, this could add an experience to your football Sundays and your hockey watching experience as well. One love to FanDuel for always supporting the show. Again, that's a $5 bet. With your money, if you're a new customer, and if that wins, you get $300 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel. Yes, FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com for more info. Let's get back to the show and talk about Valentino Martini. Why not? People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Speaking of you, let's get to the comments. I can't believe we spent 15 minutes talking about Arshdeep Baines. Greener saying, I thought Linus Carlson would make it. I could do without Arshdeep Baines. But, just for the opening roster, not really impressed by him. It's fine, though. Depth role at best. Yeah. Again, if it is a depth role, which I don't think it is, I think they see more in him. Just because, I don't know, I feel as if the hockey team can't be quote unquote dumb enough to like have both him and like Drew O'Connor, playing like valuable minutes. And when I say valuable minutes, it's like these guys are revolving in the top 9, right? We've seen Drew O'Connor play a lot with Hedel. We've seen Arshdeep play a lot with Hedel, right? They're going to get looks in prominent positions, and they both can't be doing the same thing. Like, we need one of these guys to have offensive punch, and that's obviously more so the case with Arshdeep if, again, he can be more instinctual. Next comment. Bobby Bluger saying these decisions are also based on the boundaries of the CBA and protecting assets, right? Arshdeep Baines, if they wanted to demote him, he would need waivers, and same could be said about Linus Carlson. And I don't know, such an important year for Quinn Hughes and the whole organization. Isn't it like best player available or nothing else matters? Like, are you afraid to lose? Yes, AHL All-Stars. Maybe, but wasn't Jason Krog an AHL All-Star? You know what I'm saying? On the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Kiefer Sherwood. That guy was a legit AHL stud as well before he, popped off and whatnot. But all in all, like, if we lost Linus Carlson, would I be disappointed? No. If we lost Arshdeep Baines and he wasn't from Surrey, would I be disappointed? I think that's a legitimate question. Again, I got that Surrey connection. I want the best out of that guy. I think he can help change the narrative and do a lot for the city, like be a legitimate superhero. And he already is one, for real. He really is. But if he, becomes prominent in, or on the Vancouver Canucks, not the Abbotsford Canucks, but the Vancouver Canucks, bro, the trickle-down effect in the community will be a beautiful thing. All in all, though, that hasn't been seen yet. And I don't know. On one end, I'm like, yo, it's the end of the road. Like, this is his last chance. But the organization just loves this guy. They really do. Next comment. Okay, Scrawford saying the Mancini thing was surprising. Okay, let's get right into it. So much Arshdeep Baines talk again. That's a Surrey bias, but yeah. I'm a big Valentino Mancini fan, and that's after being a big Valentino Martini hater, okay? Go watch the episode from like 7 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever the math is, JT Miller trade night, and I didn't even know who the hell this guy was. Former 5th-round pick, and that's all I saw. 5th-round pick, a 1st and a 5th in Hedel. Marcus Pettersson, Hedel, and a 5th-round pick for JT Miller, former 100-point guy. Now captain of an original 6 team. What are we doing? But then I saw him play. I saw him play a lot last year in the NHL because he played like 14-plus games or 15-plus games or something, maybe 13, who knows. And then he also played incredibly well in the AHL. In fact, he just seems like a guy who's too good for that league and probably or may pick up bad tendencies down there based on boredom, right? Based on being too good there. And this is the guy that you want to, I would say, simplify just a little bit based on his mistake rate. Maybe he needs to be coached more. And, a lot of that could be done in the AHL again under Manny Malhotra. But yeah, I feel as if he would learn a lot more here in the NHL. And he deserves it. Like, he deserves to learn more under Adam Foote, Hall of Fame defenseman, more so than Manny, based on, again, what he did this preseason. And that was be like a top 5 player for us. Exciting as well. The fans gravitate towards him. He's a breath of fresh air on the ice. Like, the way he skates, the way he play makes, the way he wants to be aggressive. Yeah, it comes with some, some bullshit, some stuff that scares you. But, JT Miller also scared us too. And again, I brought up this point, based on what I see on paper, not based on the preseason, but based on what I see on paper, this forward group may struggle to produce offense. So why not have someone else on defense generate that for you? Because It's Quinn Hughes and it's Philip Hronik, who again play on the same pair. And then it's a bunch of like 20 to 30 point guys. Right? Like Forbert's getting you 10. Elias Pettersson, I think one day he'll be a 30 to 35 point guy, maybe a 40 point guy, a couple 40-point seasons in a long career, sure. But right now he seems like a 15 to 20 point guy max. Marcus Pettersson, 15 to 25 points. I guess Tyler Myers, 30 to 40. But I feel as if there could have been more playmaking there. And Mancini could have brought that. But he's going to start, apparently, allegedly, based on the paperwork, based on the transaction that was made today, he's going to start with Abbotsford. And a little confusing. I will say, a little disappointment. I will say. But that's it. That's it. And I feel as if it has a lot to do with Elias Pettersson's physicality, but more so Derek Forbert's penalty killing. Okay, so let's run a segment here. I think it's comment of the yesterday. If you want to be featured on this, comment on the actual video after the live stream, and we gotta like bring a prize up or something. Like the best comment of the yesterday wins a T-shirt or something, or a thrifted jersey every month. Anyways, let's run the segment here on Locked On Canucks. Okay, this comment comes from Sean Big Johnson. Sean Big Johnson. I wish my girl called me Kyle Big Bowen. Could you imagine that? If she called me Big Daddy. No, I don't want to be called Daddy. Where am I going with this? Call me Big Bowen. Anyways, Sean Big Johnson said, it's really going to come down to DPD versus Mancini versus Forbert. Mancini does have the offensive potential, more so than the other two, but the Canucks don't need Mancini's offense on D. Again, I disagree with that, but Sean doesn't. The last two seasons, especially ranked in the NHL, Hughes tied for first with Makar, Hronik 19th, Marcus Pettersson 27th, and Myers 51st when it comes to offense on D. Really? Marcus Pettersson was a 27th on D when it came to producing offense? I got to look into that. Okay, I'm not a fancy stat guy. Anyways, both Forbert and DPD are better defensively and make less mistakes than Mancini. Again, that's another thing I'm going to disagree with. Mancini and DPD, who made more mistakes in the preseason? Seriously, do the math. Anyways, DPD does play more physical. Now, this is the part that was really, really interesting, okay? Forbert is not just good on the PK, he's elite. He's the best penalty kill defenseman in the NHL according to analytics. What analytics are these? Is it Forbertology.com? Forbertology? Like, is that like a family thing that he's running, or is it the truth? And I'm not denying this guy's intelligence or his integrity. Sean Big Johnson seems like an honest guy, but he's telling me that Derek Forbert's the best penalty killing defenseman in hockey, and the Canucks ranked third in their penalty kill last year, if I'm not mistaken. And Derek Forbert, if he's the best penalty kill defenseman in hockey, they got to keep this guy. Anyways, having Forbert and MP3 on the PK at all times, unless one of them is in the box, is a huge advantage. That's the primary reason why the Canucks were ranked third on the penalty kill. I don't see how Foote is going to make the best penalty killing defenseman in the NHL a healthy scratch. Aside from injuries, the only way I see Mancini in the lineup for game one is unless they go with 70 and 11 forward, 11 forwards, which is not going to be the case. That was a lot. Thanks for the comment, Sean Big Johnson. Again, commented yesterday. Do so after this video is posted, or if you missed. Oh, can you hear me? If you missed the live stream, I wonder, is there something wrong with this XLR cable? Let me know if the audio's coming in clearly. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah, Derek Forbert over Mancini. They did it because of penalty killing reasons. That is just the truth. And if those analytics are right, again, I'm a fan. Sean Big Johnson is a fan. This is not media. This is Locked On Canucks. We may get some things wrong. Nonetheless, based on my eye test, and again, Derek Forbert, not a fan of the signing in 2024, but this guy proved me wrong. I completely doubted this guy going into the season. That is just the truth. But this guy played way better than I thought he was able to play. And that was amidst a lot of injuries and more notably, rest in peace, but a death in the family. To Derek Forbert, some personal stuff going on. And this guy was able to play some really good hockey, and I gotta respect that. And on that note, I gotta gear up to get excited to have Derek Forbert be a big part of this team, right? Because if you do have a strong penalty kill, obviously that's an advantage. Now, does that lead to a playoff spot? Look at the math last year. No, it didn't. But again, it's an advantage. And if he's still elite there this year, then yeah, the Canucks made the right decision. Now, some people can argue that Mancini deserved a better fate against Elias Pettersson, the defenseman. But I'll also say this. I mean, the Canucks, to me, aren't a very tough team, right? They got Sherwood, they got Evander Kane, Connor Garland, tough. But Connor Garland is Connor Garland. Did I say Tyler Myers? I think I did. Always in the face of players that are in and around his net. He lays out the body. They need a guy like that. They do. And he's going to get more NHL experience. And he looked so damn good last year. I mean, he looked better last year than he has in this season's preseason. But my guess is that this vote of confidence given by the Canucks coaching staff and brass to Elias Pettersson will go a long way. Like, he'll figure it out. He'll snap back into just playing a clean game, playing a physical game, limiting his mistakes. Again, I saw a lot of that in the preseason. Didn't like that too much. But maybe this guy isn't a preseason player. And we're going to get a lot out of him. Like, a ton out of him. And let's be happy about this, right? Adam Foote and DPD could have a strong connection. Close your eyes. Think about how Adam Foote played the game. Think about how DPD plays the game. Boom, bam, do the math. That could be a beautiful thing. It really could. Look at this comment from James Moore. I have to rush in here, but he's saying my audio is choppy and garbled. I'm kind of hearing it too. I don't know what could be the case. I think the cable might have got stepped on or something. Or anyways, if that's the case, it's okay. It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday episode. That's life. We can't be perfect here. Okay, I'm Locked On Canucks. Where was I? Oh yeah, DPD. If it's one or the other, I think the best way to look at this before you go to bed today is like, yo, this team's deep on defense, right? When we haven't even touched on Tom Willander a lot, but the fact that it's DPD versus Mancini, like, man, oh man, for real. Getting comments about the audio, man. My bad. I don't know what's going on. Should we get to one more thought before we get out of here? Because if the audio is bad, we're gonna have to stop this episode. I got this to say too. Again, the roster cuts. Mancini, Willander, Hassan sent down. Lekaramaki and Coots stay up. If you want me to touch on Lekaramaki on this episode, just watch the last episode. Okay. Obviously, this guy was gonna make the team. That is just the truth. Anyways, the last thing I'll say, and this was surprising to me, and maybe we'll touch on this a lot tomorrow, but one of the assistant coaches for the Vancouver Canucks, who was it? The one that spoke today, Scott Young. The fact that this guy was so open about how positive the vibes were in that locker room today at practice, and more so all training camp long, all preseason long. Like, the vibes are good. There's some camaraderie. There's brotherhood. Like, it's fun going to the rink. The guys are excited, and we kind of saw it based on how they played on the ice at times. Like, it already looks 100 times better than it did last season. And again, the vibes are there. That is surprising. I always thought, based on them losing JT Miller, them having such a weird, strange season last year where it seemed like everyone hated each other. Again, this is the team that didn't even pick up the puck after Linus Karlsson scored his first goal in the NHL. We're talking about Linus Karlsson. I know he's not like a primetime dude, but I feel as if he's been to a lot of training camps, okay? And that guy scores his first goal against Nashville in front of the net. No one picks up the puck. You never see that in hockey, okay? Yet that version of the Canucks, a team that lacks so much brotherhood, so many individuals on that team, a team that oozed individualism, right? The fact that that team was going to this season was so much pressure. The Quinn Hughes thing, it's a big thing. Jack Hughes always talking about it. Jim Rutherford always talking about it. A lot is on the line. Again, no JT Miller there. Some question marks, but just in general, in my opinion, supposedly, a lot of stress would be wavering over this team going into the season. But there this team is blocking it out and just being brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. That has to bode well if you're a Canucks fan. And has to bode well if you're a part of that team or part of that organization. Like, I guarantee if this team stays healthy, they're going to have a strong October. Such good goaltending, such good defense, and they're playing for one another. And I always thought that their camaraderie would, be something after they won games, after they had a strong October, because winning fixes everything. But apparently that's not the case. Apparently it's somewhat already fixed when it comes to, again, what hockey is all about, what being on a hockey team is all about. AKA, they're ahead of schedule. And that goes to show that the Marcus Pettersson trade was definitely worth it. That did something. That goes to show you that getting JT Miller out of that room did something. That also goes to show you more specifically that, in my opinion, Elias Pettersson has to be back. I mean, they're in the room with him. They're practicing with him every day. They're in and around his energy. And if he's not back or close to being back or different than he was last year, you best believe that would have a trickle down effect in that room because, he's still amongst the best players and has to be the guy. And if there's not trust that he can be that guy, the vibes are going to be off. But there must be a base layer of trust and excitement amongst that player group that they got one of their guys back. Or two other guys back, right? Elias Pettersson and Thatcher Demko. Like that calms everyone down. That makes you, as an athlete, look forward to what's to come because you got a chance, right? If you have Quinn Hughes, Thatcher Demko, and Elias Pettersson is back with that strong decor, with some, depth from some of your youth, right? Braeden Cootes, Lecker Mackey, Mancini, Willander, DPD. Like, there's just some excitement there. And maybe there's a lot of excitement there because Connor Garland, right? He's a leader now, a legitimate leader. And maybe he's filling in the void that JT Miller, quote unquote, left. And he's doing it differently. And it's leading to, again, the morale of that team being more loose. So Canucks fans, be excited. Canucks fans, go watch that interview with Scott Young today. And I don't think he was BSing. I don't think he was trying to sell tickets. I've heard this in and around media circles as well. Again, Trevor Beggs, Big J Journo, but we'll send him out this week to, get a vibe check. Well, how's the body language check going into the beginning of the regular season? As surprisingly, again, I didn't think this was the case. Maybe it's the pessimism in me, but I didn't think this was going to be the case. Surprisingly, they're ahead of schedule. And going into the season, the aura, the energy, it's there. These guys are bought in. That's going to lead to something. Dan Jardine saying, hey, Filipino, Mr. Positive too. Hey, Valentino Martini Mancini the third. That guy seems like a positive dude too. Maybe Elias Pettersson being more happier too. Just again, that leads to something. Hey, maybe Rick Tocchet not being there and this team not playing boring hockey, right? I mean, again, I was a big Rick Tocchet fan. I hope I was wrong about the guy because I'm moving forward and I'm an Adam Foote guy now. Got the foot fetish. But there's a time where I believed in Rick Tocchet because I didn't like to believe that the guy who just won Coach of the Year, the guy who made the Canucks cool again, quote unquote, the guy who, in my mind, strategized his way to get to Game 7 of Round 2 based on all the injuries he had to be dealt with, including one to Elias Pettersson that resulted in him giving nothing to this team in the playoffs. He still got that team with Archer Sheeloff to Game 7, right? But looking back at it again, there's like a 20-month stretch where the Vancouver Canucks were playing hockey that was producing 20 shots a game. You know how boring that would be if you're a player on this team to play within that system? That could be dreadful. And oh yeah, you're not winning. So maybe because Quit Talk's no longer here and they're just playing a bit more loose, like it's just leading into this team being more instinctual, this team being more of a hockey team, this team being more of a brotherhood, and this team looking forward to playing the game again together in the blue and green. So yeah, man, oh man, go Canucks go. I'm excited. And I don't know if it was just because I heard that Scott Young quote about, again, the camaraderie and the spirit that it allowed me to be less pessimistic about this team's choice to demote Mancini and keep Forbert. I don't know if all that is connected. And again, I'm over here not being excited and whatnot, but all in all, I'm back to trusting the process. So again, go Canucks go you go. My name's Kyle Bound. Sorry for the technical difficulties today. I thought I fixed the audio issues, but again, I'm 32 and a half years old, part-time DJ, part-time book writer, part-time podcaster, part-time producer, Surrey jack of all trades, right? And master of none, allegedly. But who cares? Because I'm a Canucks fan and the season's about to begin. One love to you and you and you and you again. Hit the like button, support the show, share the show, tell your friends to listen to this, and that sometimes it doesn't sound like shit. Hopefully they trust you. And yeah, one love to Locked On Canucks and the Don't Doze Art Lab. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night. We don't know when you're watching this or streaming it or listening to this, but yeah, we truly do appreciate it. Peace.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.